Before I begin, I want to take a moment to express my gratitude. To everyone who's been following my channel, thank you. I'm genuinely honored to know that people are actually benefiting from my content. It's such a wonderful experience to connect with you through this digital platform, knowing that we share similar lessons to learn, similar manifestations to work through. I started this channel as a way to discover and record my own BS, and that remains its primary purpose. But knowing that others are finding value in my journey as well, that's something I don't take for granted. So, truly, thank you. Today, I want to start on a new topic. Taking initiative. Thinking ahead. This is more about our attitude than our ability. I have to be honest. I am a very passive learner. Not just academically, in pretty much every area of my life. In primary school, this passive tendency was masked by my craving for external validation. I didn't learn because I was curious. I learned because I wanted to impress. I wanted to be seen as smart, capable, successful. So I performed. I absorbed what was placed in front of me. But I never sought out anything beyond that. Middle school was the turning point. My passivity became so extreme that even when someone was feeding me information, I wouldn't absorb it. I'd just sit there, waiting, not engaging, not learning, just physically present, but mentally absent. Now, I think I've improved. I can absorb and reflect when someone places information in front of me. But what I still lack is the ability, or the attitude, to take initiative proactively, to seek out knowledge on my own, to think ahead, to act before I'm told to. And I want to understand why. Not just why I personally behave this way, but why passivity happens in general. Because I don't think I'm alone in this. Many of us struggle with taking initiative. Many of us wait for instructions, wait for permission, wait for someone else to take the lead. So today, I want to explore the root causes, both personal and universal. I believe there are several layers to this. Let me walk through them. First, external validation as a substitute for internal drive. When we're young, many of us learn to perform for approval. We do well to make our parents proud. We achieve to earn recognition. We learn to impress others. But somewhere along the way, we don't develop the internal engine. We don't learn to seek knowledge for its own sake. We don't cultivate curiosity for ourselves. That's what happened to me. In primary school, my motivation was external. So I never built the habit of active curiosity. I learned to respond to external demands, not to initiate my own exploration. And when the validation faded, my motivation faded with it. Second, fear of failure and perfectionism. If you take initiative and fail, the failure is yours. If you wait for instructions, you can deflect responsibility. Passivity becomes a safety net, a way to avoid the risk of being wrong, of looking foolish, of making mistakes. Many of us stay passive because it feels safer. We don't act ahead because we're afraid of acting incorrectly. We wait until we're certain. And often, certainty never comes. Third, learn helplessness. This is a psychological pattern where, after repeated experiences of your actions not changing outcomes, you learn that trying doesn't matter. You give up. You stop initiating. You wait for things to happen to you, rather than making them happen. If you've had experiences where your efforts led nowhere, where you tried and failed, or where external circumstances overrode your efforts, you may have internalized the belief that your actions don't matter. And that belief breeds passivity. Fourth, lack of self-trust. You can't take initiative if you don't trust yourself. Taking initiative requires believing that your actions will lead to good outcomes. Without that belief, you hesitate. You wait for someone else to take the lead. You wait for instructions, because you don't trust your own judgment. This is one of my core struggles. I didn't trust myself to make good decisions, to figure things out, to handle the consequences of my actions. So I stayed passive. Fifth, over-reliance on external structure. Many of us have been guided by external structures our whole lives: school, parents, teachers, rules. We learn to follow, not to lead. We learn to respond, not to initiate. So when the structure is removed, when we leave school, when we're on our own, we don't know how to create our own direction. We become passive because there's no one telling us what to do next. Sixth, fear of responsibility. Taking initiative means taking responsibility. If you lead, you're accountable for what happens. If you follow, you're not. So many of us avoid the burden of responsibility. It feels safer to follow than to lead. Seventh, emotional exhaustion. When you've been through difficult experiences, burnout, failure, disappointment, you can become emotionally depleted. You don't have the energy to take initiative. You just want to survive. So you wait. You respond. You don't initiate. This definitely applied to me after my downward spiral in middle school and my burnout at university. I was exhausted. I didn't have the energy to figure things out. I just waited for someone to tell me what to do. These are the layers. External validation. Fear of failure. Learned helplessness. Lack of self-trust. Over-reliance on structure. Fear of responsibility. Emotional exhaustion. They all lead to the same place, passivity. But here's what I want to emphasize. This is not a character flaw. This is not laziness. This is a learned pattern, a response to complex experiences. And what's learned can be unlearned.